This video is for informational and entertainment purposes only and utilizes artificial intelligence, AI. The information provided may not always be accurate. For important decisions, consult experts or professionals.
Just like before, we're here to listen to you tell us a story like we're kids. Please tell us about the movie How Do You Know, starring Reese Witherspoon. We're excited to hear all about it.
All right, let me tell you about How Do You Know, a film you're sure to enjoy, my fellow storytellers. Our lead here is Reese Witherspoon, who plays Lisa, a softball player at a crossroads in her life, unsure of her next step. She's used to life as an athlete, but suddenly, she's no longer part of the team. Losing direction can feel strange, right? Like many of us, Lisa is left wondering, how do you know what's right? Amid Lisa's confusion, she meets two men. First, there's Matty, played by Owen Wilson, a cocky and famous baseball player. He's wealthy, popular, and surrounded by admirers, but he's not always serious about life or relationships. Then there's George, played by Paul Rudd, a businessman facing major problems. George has been innocently caught up in a scandal involving his company. And at a time when both their lives are in turmoil, their paths cross. The movie revolves around questions we all ask ourselves at some point. How do we know if our choices are right, especially when it comes to love and life? We watch as Lisa struggles to choose between the two men while also searching for a new purpose in life after her athletic career. George, on the other hand, works to clear his name and find his own direction, all while falling for Lisa. The film is fresh, filled with scenes that mix comedy and romance, bringing both laughter and sweetness. It's not just about love. It's also about finding answers to tough questions, like how you know if your feelings or the path you're on are right. By the end, we're left with the question, how do you know? And the answer? Sometimes, you just have to listen to yourself, embrace the opportunities that come, and trust that your decisions, even if not always clear, will lead you to the right place.
So it's about love and making the right choices in life.
You got it. How Do You Know isn't just a simple love story. It's also about the tough decisions we need to make in life. Lisa, who lost her career and is confused about her love life, is at a stage that's familiar to many of us. The point where we're figuring out our next steps or questioning if we're making the right choices, especially when it comes to love and our own path. In the movie, we see two aspects of Lisa's life. First, her search for new direction after sports is no longer her world, and second, her quest to find the right person who will truly make her happy, either Matty, who's easygoing and fun, or George, who's more serious and genuinely caring. The essence of the story resonates with questions we ask ourselves. Is this feeling right? Or is this truly the right path for me? The mix of romance and the challenge of life decisions gives the movie depth and a relatable theme for anyone in the process of discovering their own answers.
What deep lessons can we learn from this movie?
How Do You Know is full of lessons we can all relate to, especially when we're at a point in life where we have questions about love, work, and making the right choices. Here are some of the profound lessons we can draw from it. 1. Losing direction is part of life. In Lisa's story, she suddenly loses her job as an athlete, a role that has defined her. This shows us that sometimes, no matter how skilled or experienced we are in something, there comes a time to move on and find a new path. The key is not to lose hope. Getting lost isn't a bad thing. Sometimes, in those moments, we discover our higher purpose. 2. True happiness isn't found in material things or fame. Matty, a famous and wealthy baseball player, seems perfect on the outside but is shallow when it comes to love and relationships. It's a reminder that real love and happiness aren't based on money, fame, or appearances. It's the deeper connection that counts, like the one Lisa finds with George, who genuinely cares and shows her real love. 3. The right decisions aren't always clear at first. Sometimes, making the right choice isn't immediately obvious. Like Lisa, who doubts who to choose between Matty and George, there are times in life when we have to follow our heart and trust our instincts, even when we can't see the outcome right away. Often, we only see the right decision in hindsight after reflecting on our experiences. For love isn't always perfect, but it should come with respect and care. Matty is the kind of person who often thinks only of himself. It can be easy to be drawn to someone's good qualities, but the movie shows that true love includes respect, mutual support, and genuine care. This is what Lisa finds in George, who, despite his own challenges, is ready to support and truly love her. 5. Sometimes you need to let go of things that no longer bring happiness. The movie also teaches us that we sometimes need to let go of things or people that no longer bring us joy or peace. Like Lisa's choice to seek out the right person, we sometimes need to face the reality that what we're holding on to might not be for us anymore. Overall, How Do You Know teaches us to open our eyes to ourselves. Even if we're confused by our decisions, we need to believe that we'll find the right path at the right time.
I can relate to this movie because I reached a point in my life where I really didn't know what I should do. It was so difficult that it even affected my health.
It's touching to hear that you related to the movie, especially in terms of feeling uncertain. It's true. When you don't know the right thing to do, it doesn't just cause emotional strain, it also impacts your physical health. It feels so heavy inside, and sometimes, no matter how hard we try, it's like there's no clear answer or direction. Sometimes, dear listener, we need to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and trust that we'll find the right path, even if everything seems unclear. I hope that through stories like How Do You Know, you'll find inspiration and a reminder that it's normal to feel lost sometimes. It's part of the journey toward a more meaningful life.
What does this mean for our spiritual life? And what does it mean from different religious perspectives to give us a broader viewpoint?
The experience of losing direction, as shown in How Do You Know, is not only about physical and emotional aspects of life, but also holds a deep significance for our spiritual journey. In various religions, seeking direction and meaning is often a part of a broader spiritual process. Here are some perspectives from different religions and spiritual traditions that may offer deeper insights. 1. Christianity. Faith and trust in God. In Christianity, when we go through periods of feeling lost, we're often encouraged to trust in God's plan. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This suggests that even when we can't see the path ahead, there is a higher plan for us, and faith can be our guide. 2. Buddhism. Embracing confusion and letting go of attachment. In Buddhism, confusion and lack of direction are seen as parts of our suffering, stemming from our attachments to things we believe bring happiness. The Four Noble Truths teach that suffering is a natural part of life, and the key to finding peace is through releasing attachments. Letting go of expectations and quieting the mind through meditation opens the way for a clearer understanding of our purpose. 3. Islam. Submission and acceptance of God's, Allah's, will. In Islam, Muslims believe in the concept of tawakkul, or trust and surrender to the will of Allah. When we are unsure of what to do, Islam teaches us to trust in Allah's will, as only He knows what is best for us. The search for the right path is guided through prayer, salah, and seeking guidance from Allah. 4. Hinduism. Karma and Dharma. In Hinduism, feeling lost may relate to karma, the concept that our actions, good or bad, affect our present and future. Hinduism encourages the pursuit of dharma, or the right path and purpose in life, as a way to regain balance. This shows that every confusion and setback is part of our spiritual growth process. 5. Judaism. Faith and acknowledgement of a higher purpose. In Judaism, finding meaning is connected to trusting in God, Hashem, and continually seeking answers through the Torah, or Holy Scriptures. Questioning and searching for answers are valued because the spiritual journey is not always straightforward. The Talmud states, "Man's steps are directed by the Lord." How then can anyone understand their own way? A reminder that our path is part of a greater plan by God. 6. Taoism. Flowing with life and accepting the natural order. Taoism teaches the concept of wu-wei, or effortless action. Rather than resisting a sense of being lost, Taoism teaches that following the natural flow of life, going with the Tao or the way, is key to peace. Instead of overly worrying about what you cannot control, accepting the present and embracing the flow of life brings clarity. Conclusion. These lessons from different religions show that times of confusion don't need to be viewed negatively. Instead, they are part of our spiritual growth. Uncertainty can be a path toward a deeper understanding of ourselves, our relationship with God or a higher power, and our purpose in life. Each religion and spiritual tradition offers different ways to embrace confusion, through faith, letting go of control, or surrendering to life's flow.
Do you know of any self-help or self-development strategies that could help with what we're discussing?
Yes, there are many self-help and self-development strategies that can support people going through a phase of feeling lost, like what you experienced. Here are some practical and effective strategies that might aid your spiritual life, emotional health, and decision-making. 1. Mindfulness and acceptance of the present. What is it? Mindfulness is focusing on the present moment without judgment. Instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, the goal is to accept where you are right now. How does it help? When your direction is unclear, mindfulness can help quiet the mind and encourage you to listen to yourself. Without too much focus on expectations, you can make appropriate steps without stress. Techniques: try deep breathing, meditation, or simply focusing on your surroundings, e.g., sounds or smells around you, whenever you feel confused. 2. Identifying personal values and purpose, ikigai. What is it? Ikigai is a Japanese concept meaning reason to live. It involves finding the intersection between what you love, what the world needs, what you are good at, and what can provide you with a livelihood. How does it help? When you feel directionless, reflecting on these 4 things can bring clarity. 1. What makes you happy? 2. What does the world need from you? 3. What are your talents or skills? 4. How can you earn from this? This can inspire you with a clearer sense of purpose. Steps: create a journal or a simple diagram to note the aspects of your ikigai and use it as a guide for planning your next steps. 3. Tiny habits and small wins. What is it? BJ Fogg's Tiny Habits concept is about building small, manageable changes instead of immediately overhauling your life. How does it help? If you're unsure of the right steps, start with small actions. Small successes provide momentum and confidence to keep moving forward. For instance, if you want career direction, start with a simple action like reading about an interest for 10 minutes. Techniques: do one small thing every day, write a journal entry, complete one simple task, and acknowledge that progress. 4. Visioning and creating a life map. What is it? Visioning is the process of clearly imagining what you hope to achieve in the future. This can be combined with creating a life map or vision board to make your dreams more concrete. How does it help? When feeling lost, having a clear vision for your future can provide direction. By writing or illustrating your dream, you'll have a clear goal to work toward. Steps: make a simple life map using pictures, quotes, and keywords that reflect your goals. Look at it daily to stay focused. 5. Practicing gratitude. What is it? Gratitude focuses on the positives in life and recognizes blessings, no matter how small. How does it help? When you're feeling directionless, focusing on what you already have can give you a fresh perspective. It can remind you that even though things aren't clear, you still have sources of strength and reasons to keep going. Techniques: start a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. When confusion returns, revisit what you've written. 6. Setting a worry time for concerns. What is it? Worry time is a cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) technique that allows you to set aside limited time to think about your concerns. How does it help? When feeling confused and worried, this technique gives you control over your worries. It prevents worry from taking over your entire day. Steps: set aside 15 to 30 minutes daily as your worry time. During this time, write down all your thoughts. Afterward, try not to think about these concerns for the rest of the day. 7. Mentoring and seeking support. What is it? Mentoring involves finding someone who can help or guide you, like a life coach, mentor, or spiritual leader. How does it help? Listening to someone who has been through similar situations can provide a fresh perspective. Having a mentor can help you focus on your goals. Steps: look for people who may be able to help with your situation, friends, mentors, coaches who have more experience and can offer advice or inspiration. Conclusion: Having strategies like these can provide you with practical guides to getting back on the right track, whether emotionally or spiritually. Taking small steps, practicing gratitude, and focusing on the present are just a few ways to find light again, even in times of uncertainty.
Another wonderful movie you've shared with us. I hope it helps our listeners and that they enjoyed it. Once again, thank you for sharing your insights about this film. Until our next storytelling session.
Thank you as well for warmly embracing this story. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed it, and I truly hope it has inspired our listeners. I'm always here to share and chat, and I'm already looking forward to our next conversation. Take care always, and until our next storytelling session.